My name is Yanni Sarajanides.
We didn't find out until the day I had my C-section and he was born. And that's when his father came running over to me crying that there was no arm.
I've seen him struggle before with how he does things sometimes, but I know he always finds a way. Yanni had discussed with me that he was upset about the fact that he was treated differently when applying for jobs. You know, they would not make direct comments relating to his disability, but would kind of suggest at it. And so it was very limiting in when he was applying to places. They would kind of almost turn him down without even having handed him the application. And I remember he was very frustrated by that because he's never considered his situation to be a disability. He's always been such a powered person about it.
I've never in my life known anyone who has had one arm until I met him.
Growing up with one arm, I never really had any big difficulties. I've always had my family behind me. They've always been encouraging me. I've always figured out a way to get through it. But then again, I've also lived 24 years now.
To tie a shoe, to dress himself, to button things, to zip a coat. That's what took longer.
One of my best memories of when we were little is playing video games at his house. And despite Yanni's disability, he literally kicked ass in every game he played, so I never would have noticed that he had a disability, especially as a child.
Look, first of all, the kid can play video games like there's no tomorrow. Between Game Boy, Nintendo, now PlayStation, I mean, he whips anybody's butt on those games.
Being a gamer, I've always found it very easy to play games. I've growing up with a Super Nintendo, and I've obviously adapted to having the one arm, playing different game systems. It's one of my biggest hobbies.
He shows people you don't need all your limbs to be normal. You could have one arm and you're just as normal as a person on your right and your left.
Obviously, it's a disability, but I've never considered my brother disabled. He is perfectly capable of doing everything that anybody can do, so I've never viewed him in that way.
Wrestling was his thing. He loved it. He didn't need two hands for wrestling, and he enjoyed it, and I was never afraid for him with that sport.
Wrestling. I've always been a big wrestling fan. Growing up, I used to watch WWF going into WWE. I took up the real sport, which was starting in middle school. I did it about 7 years, straight into high school, into my senior year. I've always had a great experience with my wrestling team.
Did I ever have any opinions or objections to Yanni wanting to wrestle? No. I thought it was a great idea because it's what he wanted to do. And frankly, he was a pretty damn good wrestler, so clearly he was fine.
We got waved down by this family because apparently the little girl actually had the same one arm just like him, and they told us that they were looking all over for him because they wanted to talk to him. And I just saw this little girl, just this smile she had. It was like she saw Santa Claus.
What things about my brother should people with the same or similar disability know? They should know that no matter what, they will be able to live their life to the very fullest, to keep their head up and know that they are just as good as everybody else, and that they can do whatever they put their minds to.